Penguin Random House Audio presents It's Them, Not You. How to Break Free from Toxic Parents and Reclaim Your Story. Written and read for you by Josh Connolly. Note to listeners, this audiobook contains a bonus PDF with a QR code and link to access guided breath work for each chapter.
I would like to dedicate this to my wife and children, without whom this wouldn't be possible. Introduction. You feel desperately alone. You know something in your life isn't right, but you dare not speak it aloud. Deep within, you know the relationship with the very person who is supposed to love you unconditionally is the one that makes you feel unlovable. You struggle to be truly present with your loved ones. You often feel like life is one big show and that you are just going along with it. Sound familiar? Picking up this book is the first, most important, and perhaps the hardest step in your life, as you discover that you have the power to truly break free from your toxic parent and reclaim your story. Somewhere down the line, whether you knew it or not, because of your relationship with a parent, both parents, or a carer, you invented versions of yourself simply to survive. And today, you're still living out those characters to get by. Maybe you play certain roles to make sure everyone else is happy, but have no idea how to get your own needs met. Does this dynamic sound familiar? Perhaps you're a people pleaser because you're constantly afraid of letting others down. Even in moments when you're supposed to be happy and fulfilled, you're only ever performing for those around you. There are parts of you that you hide deep inside of you, even keeping them from the closest people in your life. You desperately work hard to avoid an internal darkness within yourself, but you know it's always there. You have tried self-help work, you have read the books, signed up to the courses, or followed the latest well-being trend to try and fix what you believe is broken. Eventually, you resign yourself to the belief, it's just the way I am. You might have convinced yourself that you are broken and beyond repair. After all, this is what most of society is telling you in one way or another. But you are not broken. You are not broken and you do not need to be fixed. What you need to do is to stop abandoning yourself to protect the family dysfunction. It's time to stop making excuses for all the things that weren't right in your relationships as you were growing up, and those that still aren't right now that you're an adult. This is where you will find the truest understanding of yourself. And then once you know how your past informs you, you can truly begin to champion your future self. Who am I? I have faced my own struggles. I was in a lot of darkness for most of my younger life. There were fun times and good memories during it too, so it wasn't easy to see at first. With the darkness, I simply took it as part and parcel of life. I didn't know any different, and I didn't know how to navigate it, so I just ignored it. I thought that I was broken, and that the dark parts of me were to be bypassed and avoided at all costs. I began my healing journey over 11 years ago, and through it I have learned that this way that I am is the very thing that gives me the power to explore my darkness, to heal, and to ultimately come to love what I always ran away from. I have dedicated the last decade to this work. At first for myself, but then to help others explore their healing journeys. I have been inspired by some incredibly wise people and have explored many dead ends along the way too. I have found all too often that what's offered is a quick fix or a rapid transformation, where enlightenment and healing are promised, but which only leaves you stuck in your head. This is where my practice and what you'll learn in this book will depart from the usual well-being practices you may be used to. Often self-help borrows ideas from intellectual thinkers without a focus on the most important person, you, the person on this healing journey. It may feel that it's working for a bit, but it won't last. The truth is that you can't outsource your healing by adopting someone else's quick fix. I was once on a very different path and, following in the footsteps of a long family history of addiction and early death, was destined to become another statistic. In 2012, my life changed drastically when at the age of 24, I decided to stop drinking alcohol and embarked on a new journey of healing. In the years that followed, I turned within and worked extensively on myself and continued to do so today. As a result of this work, I have become passionate about helping people in similar situations. Having learned how much my childhood has impacted who I am today, I realize I want to share the things that have helped change my life in such a drastic way. Getting sober aged 24, I thought all my problems would disappear. But I quickly realized that quitting alcohol actually left me with my problems. I had convinced myself that all my struggles were born from my alcohol use, but sobriety quickly taught me that I had been using alcohol to suppress all my difficult feelings. Without it, I was just left with them, and with no way to escape. That is where the journey to really understanding who I am began. It showed me why I had acted the way that I had, and when I saw my experience in its entirety, so much of it made sense. I had grown up with an alcoholic father who I lost when I was very young, and I still have a close relationship with my mum, who has been a constant throughout my entire life. My knowledge of the struggles of living with a toxic parent come mainly from supporting other people in their experience, including people in my life that I have loved. Through my work that involves supporting people in a number of different ways, including as a helpline counsellor at NACOA UK, the National Association for Children of Alcoholics, the charity for whom I remain an ambassador to this day, to online programs and over a decade of work within the healing space, I understand that blanket solutions of forgiving and forgetting don't work when trying to heal from toxicity and abuse within a family system. Through my thousands of online interactions, I clearly see that many people feel completely alone in this struggle. Most of them are forced into silence and feel they can't talk about it anywhere. I want this book to be the voice for people who have grown up in that toxicity, as well as help them find true healing. I've worked to support individuals and groups of people looking to embark on their healing journey. From online community spaces and programs, to in-person workshops and one-on-one coaching, I now hold the belief that so many people's distress and struggle make absolute sense when you're willing to hold space long enough for them to explore their full experience. I see clearly that there is a complete lack of space within our culture for people with a toxic parent to explore the difficult experiences that they have endured throughout their entire life. In fact, in nearly every case, most people either force children of toxic parents into loving and accepting their parents just as they are, or at best, coax them onto a path towards forgiveness at the expense of themselves. I am passionate about validating people's experiences, however difficult they are to hear. I run a program for people from all over the world who have grown up with either a toxic parent or family dysfunction, aimed at beginning to help them heal from that childhood. I have seen countless people have life-changing experiences and truly begin to heal, understand exactly who they are in the world today, and build a loving, nurturing, and integrated relationship with themselves. I have discovered that reflective work, coupled with validation and an understanding of who you are in the world today, taken alongside somatic breathwork practices, can bring about life-changing experiences. I have witnessed it help thousands of people learn to love every single part of themselves and to recognize the power they already possess within them. How to use this book. My aim with this book is to first give you the validation that you both need and deserve, having grown up your whole life with a parent who shows up as toxic, and to take you through the healing process. I can help you do some of the true internal work that's needed in order to be able to heal from something that society still has no real understanding of. I will talk about my healing journey only to help you understand what is possible, but with this book, my mission is to support you to discover your own healing power through your own authentic journey. I've supported thousands of people on their journey, and I have heard so many stories of people who have spent a lifetime desperately trying to hold on to a relationship with a parent who is consistently toxic. As a result, these people lose.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?